It's been a while. I recently just got accepted into the Disney College program for the second time. Yeah, I'm beyond excited. For those of you who don't know, I did the Disney College program in 2023 from January to August. It was the best experience of my entire life. I came home, I got into a relationship, so I didn't end up going back whenever I originally planned. Hello? Didn't end up going back when I originally planned. Got out of the relationship. I got the opportunity to go back in the beginning of January to visit some of my friends. So whenever I went, it kind of just inspired me to reapply because I wasn't really loving my college. I liked it, but I wasn't loving it to the extent that I wanted to be loving it, or just even satisfied with it. I really just wasn't as happy as I wanted to be. I wasn't even content. So I was looking at housing options for the next semester, and I was on FaceTime with my best friend from home, and I was like, what if I just reapplied? Like, what if? Hypothetically, what if? And so I did. I reapplied. A few days later, I got the opportunity to do a phone call interview. So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about the process from the application to move-in day. Up until my move-in day, I'm going to give you guys some advice on what to expect, what not to expect. I'm going to do a whole video on what to pack, what not to pack, where to get it, and yeah, let's go. If you couldn't tell, this is going to be a get ready with me video because I do have work in an hour and a half, so I figured why not kill two birds with one stone, and yeah, so that's why I look kind of ratchet. But all right, so the beginning of the process is filling out an application. An application is one of the easiest steps of the process, and then once you have filled that out, then if they think that you would be a good fit, then I don't remember if I did this time, but I know I did with my first CP. Before any action happened, I had to fill out an online interview, so kind of just like a questionnaire. And if you answered the questions the right way, then you got to schedule a phone call interview. I feel like I did do it this time, but I can't remember for sure. If you are to get that, the questions that'll be on it is kind of just, it gives you scenarios. It asks how you would react to those scenarios. It asks questions like, do you see yourself as a conflicting person? Do you see yourself as a problem solver? Do you see yourself as a leader? Things like that. It's super easy, super simple, just so they can get an idea on whether or not you should move to the next step. The next step would be a phone call interview. So if they think that you're a good fit still, then they will send you an email asking you to schedule a phone call interview. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the phone call interview can be super intimidating. I have done it twice. I still get super intimidated by it. But the best piece of advice that I can give you is just be happy. Be happy, talk about what you know best, and in this situation, it's Disney. I always like to prepare a little bit, so I like to look over questions online and then try to come up with the best answer. I look at other people's answers and maybe kind of go off of that. One of the biggest things that they ask is what you would want to do while you're down there. My thought process of it all is no matter where I'm going to be placed, I'm going to be working at Disney. And that's kind of, I think, one thing that they want to hear you say is that it doesn't really matter where you're placed because the only thing that matters is that you're working for the company, not you're going to work for one area of the company, if that makes sense. That's one thing to memorize and kind of maybe research a little before you go in to the phone call interview, just so you have a little bit of background knowledge of what you're talking about. Another question that they're going to ask you is name a situation where you had to put someone else's safety before your own. My answer for this was whenever I worked for Disney previously. I was a lifeguard, so I was constantly having to put the guest safety before my own. And so maybe just think about a time at your previous job or with family maybe where you had to prioritize their safety before you could prioritize your safety. If you guys want more questions, I can also go over more. Just let me know in the comments if that is another video I should make separately, because I can go on for days about the phone call interview. So if I should make an entire video about just the phone call interview, you guys let me know and I got you. After the phone call interview, if they decide that you are a great fit for Disney, then it'll probably take about 2 weeks. Mine took exactly 2 weeks for me to find out. They do it in waves. So like if they did multiple phone call interviews in the same week, then they're going to wait until that week is over to send out the wave of acceptance letters or rejection letters. So they do it in waves. So whenever I saw that all my friends had gotten their acceptance letters, because a few of my other friends reapplied as well, once I saw that they had gotten their acceptance letters, that's when I had a feeling. I'll insert a video of the way I reacted because it was very funny. I had a feeling I had gotten mine, and I went to school and I sat in like this little study room and called my best friend, and I was like, all right, you're doing it with me. I can't do this alone.
Open it. Did you get it?
Yes! If you don't hear back within 2 weeks, don't worry. I'm sure they're probably about to get back to you. I do know that they will send you a rejection letter, so you will get some sort of letter from them. Just don't worry if you don't hear back from them in 2 weeks. Because yeah, that's about the time that it'll take. And then when you get your acceptance letter, the next step is selecting your dates and putting in your down deposit to accept the program offer. I do believe this takes a few days to come out after you get your acceptance letter. I had to wait about 4 days after I got my acceptance letter to do this, or maybe I just didn't check well enough. But what you'll do is you'll go into your dorm's account, which they will give you your login for. I believe it's just your email, and then you make your own password. But you'll go into your dorm's account. This is where you'll find everything, all of your events, anything that has to do with your registration, anything that has to do with your arrival date, anything like that. You'll go into your dorm's account, and you'll have to put in a $200 down deposit or a down payment, just so that way you can secure your spot as a cast member. Once you put in that deposit, you'll be able to select your date and your term. For example, I did the fall term, so I will be going from May 19th to January 23rd. Seems kind of long, but I want to live there forever, so it's not very long to me. About a week or two later, they will send you a background information questionnaire, basically asking if you're a convicted felon. And that's kind of about it until it gets closer to your program date. And once it gets closer to your program date, if you're a safety critical role, then you will have to go and get a drug test. They'll send you an email letting you know that you need to get a drug test for your role. They may not even still tell you what your role is at that point. They will send you a list of locations that you can get it done at, and they will pay for it fully. I had to do that as a lifeguard. It's not scary. It's just, you go, you get a drug test, you leave. At least the one I did, they didn't draw blood, so if you're worried about needles or anything, you should be good, should be golden. Parking passes. This is one of the worst things about it, is you are not guaranteed a parking pass. So if you want to bring your car, there is one day I think it might be a few weeks before you arrive. It might be, I honestly can't remember the timeline of this one. I do know it is a little bit closer to your arrival date, but it is, I believe, a $90 fee. It's a one-time $90 fee that you have to pay. I was lucky enough to get one. It opens at like 9 a.m. It's just kind of first come, first serve. Not everyone gets one. Their parking lot is only so big. Around the same time, you will find out whether or not you got a 2x2 or a 4x4. You'll also be able to request one or kind of put your priority list of what you want. Obviously, most people put 4x2 and 4x4. It is very rare that you get that. I'm going to let you know that right now. Those are like the bedroom standards. 4x2 means that there's 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. 4x4, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. 2x2, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So the 2x2, 2 people will share a room, kind of like a dorm room. And then 4x4,
everyone has their own bathroom, everyone has their own bedroom. 4x2, so everyone has their own bedroom, but 2 people will just share a bathroom. They'll have like a connecting bathroom, kind of.
If you do have a medical accommodation where you need to have your own private space, then they're very accommodating to that, as long as you can provide proof that you need it. About a month before you arrive, you will find out your role. So exciting. It is a bit frustrating just because it does take so long for you to find it out. They will tell you to stay somewhere the night before move-in day, because move-in day can start at 8 a.m. And your arrival time can be as early as 8 a.m. Just kind of a warning to do that. I did that last time. We ended up getting there the day before move-in, and we got to go to Cocoa Beach. We went to dinner at Whispering Canyon at Fort Wilderness. It was a really fun day, so I definitely recommend you making a little bit of a trip out of it to say goodbye to your families, whatever. It was something that I definitely do not regret. Last but not least, move-in day. Such a fun day. Again, it can be really early in the morning, so prepare for that. Prepare for it to be a very long day. A very long day. What I mean by that is just by making sure that you get enough sleep the night before. Make sure you have all of your stuff ready to go the night before, just so that way you can get up and go, because you're going to get there and you're going to have time to move all of your stuff in, and then you're immediately going to have to go to check in and get your ID, your blue ID, and everything beyond that. About 2 days after your move-in, a day or two, honestly, you will have traditions. What traditions is it's kind of like a Disney orientation. They tell you what Disney's all about. They kind of tell you the goals, the mindset you should be having, in that Disney is a place where you make magic, and you get to see a bunch of memories of, or like videos of how like happy Disney makes kids. It's really cute. It's really special. Definitely take that in. That is one thing I don't regret, is I feel like I took traditions for granted the first time around, and I wish I would have made it more special. Like the amount of special it should have been, you know? And then immediately you go into your training week. So, for example, I was a lifeguard, so the day of traditions, I believe, it was either the day of or the next day, I had my swim test. You have to do a swim test if you are a lifeguard. It's super easy. You swim back and forth on a pool, and then you have to like grab a brick from the bottom of the pool. It's very simple.
I thought I had done an outro for the video, but I guess I just left it at that. What I meant for the outro to say was, if you guys have any questions in particular, or any videos that you guys want me to do about how to prepare for the DCP, what to bring, what not to bring, then let me know. Either DM me, you can comment on this video. I would love to make more videos regarding this, helping people out, because I wish I would have had that level of help before my DCP. But make sure to subscribe, and make sure to go follow my Instagram and my TikTok account. I post on there almost daily. But thanks, guys.